Domestic violence has become a growing issue in today's society. Both men and women fall victim to this issue. However, it is more common for women to be the victims of domestic abuse. This is because, between the ages of 18 and 34, women are at the greatest risk to fall victim to domestic abuse. This abuse can be characterized by either physical, emotional, or verbal abuse. Examples of this physical abuse would be shown in this picture, as it shows a man pulling the hair of a woman, which would be a form of physical abuse. Also shown is how children can also be affected by domestic violence, as growing up in a household with abuse could run the risk of these children growing up with these behaviors and possibly enacting them at a later age. This could lead to the children growing up in domestic households to do what is depicted in this image, as they are also physically abusing an individual. Also shown is the aftermath of the emotional abuse, as it shows a woman breaking down in tears due to the fear of her abuser. This has also become an issue as to why domestic violence is still an issue in our society. Victims often feel too afraid to speak up on their abusers, fearing the impending abuse that may follow if the abuser finds out. These victims do not feel a sense of security amongst others, and the fault of that ultimately lies on the general public, as up to this point we have ultimately failed on our duty to raise awareness on this issue and ensure the victims of domestic violence that there are resources available for them in their times of need. The ultimate lack of awareness and initiative on the part of the general public is mostly the reason why domestic violence is still an issue in our world today. This has led potential abusers into believing that their own personal ways of asserting dominance onto their partner is all right. This is never the case, as we need to ensure that we are doing our part to create a safer world for all future generations to come. We need to reiterate that violence is never the answer, and we need to start treating each other with more love and respect. Although domestic violence may seem like an issue too large to handle, if we all put in a little bit of effort, we may be able to slowly but surely end domestic violence once and for all. We can do our part in order to ensure that we are the generation that ended domestic violence all over the world. In order to answer the question of what we may be able to do in order to do our part to end domestic violence, one example could be engaging in your community by attending and/or hosting events that promote the abolition of domestic abuse. It is always ideal to show strength in numbers. As for our victims, we want to ensure that they feel they have the maximum amount of people that are available to help them. One other way that we could promote the abolition of domestic violence is by raising awareness on the National Domestic Hotline, available 24/7 for all victims to assist them with anything they may need. Please do your part and donate, and be part of the reason why we end domestic violence once and for all.